Greetings to everyone on my channel. Sit back. Now you will listen to another incredible story about the relationship of a married couple and the incredible exposure of his wife. I will ask you to subscribe to my channel and like it. It's not difficult for you, but it's nice for me. A decent woman is one about whom no one knows how unusual she can behave. I returned home. I missed my son Mashaka so much. He grew up, only a month or a little more, but such changes. The nose is turned up, and the eyes are shining. My darling, how I love him. Little had changed in her husband. As if she hadn't left, it was a little upsetting. I guess it was already beginning to suit me, but I still didn't know what would happen next. How to be a family. But now it was necessary to have a house in order to return somewhere. Or maybe everything will be fixed and come back as it was. All I did was sigh. Autumn is coming soon. While you're at school, the days drag on so slowly, literally drag on, and now I'm starting to lose count of the years. Here it was summer, winter has flown by, here it is summer again. And all for what? Why and where am I running? And where is everyone running? For what? I stood at the bus stop and watched how fast people were walking. Only a few people just walked and looked not at their feet, but around, and even less often at the sky. There are very few people who smile. Oh, I sighed again and thought, did I really become like this? Why the money? Nowadays they have become like a new religion. They are worshipped. They make sacrifices. And how many fees, excuses, why they do it. It's unpleasant and sad, and I'm one of those involved in it. Another business trip was not long in coming. In Barneywool, there were problems in the office, not mine, but Marina's. I've seen her several times at conferences, a plump lady, smiling all the time, but you can't fool your eyes. I spent 3 days trying to assemble a new team. Vera from Ekaterinburg, Alya from Tobolsk, Marina and Katia were invited from Tyumen. That was enough to start with. And again, time spun and literally slid into nowhere. It was September, and it was already the beginning of October. I sighed again and looked at how the last leaves were falling. The new year is coming soon. Yes, it probably will be. I was sitting on a bench and just looking at passers-by. Where should I hurry? The business is done, the branch has been set up, the goods have been received, the office in the city center has been removed and decorated. The first customers and good deals have already started. There are developments for new employees. I think everything will be fine. But this did not make me feel as happy as before. Everything became boring. It became ordinary. Sunset is coming soon. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I need to pack up. While I was on the train, I listened to the monotonous sound of wheels, so pleasant since childhood. I felt that strange state again somewhere inside. What an attack. Is it really all over again? If a person has pain, they usually take a pill. The pain goes away, and it already seems that nothing bothered you. It is quickly forgotten, and you hope for a simple maybe. But the pain returns, and the first thought is to take the life. Saving pill again to delay the moment of the inevitable. I drove for 2 days, and by the end of the last day it was already hard. I just wanted peace and relaxation, but I hardly thought about it. I didn't want to be dependent, weak, subject to some kind of impulses. I didn't want to, but it seems that there was no choice. It was necessary to find a solution to cope with this condition. After spending the night at home, it wasn't easy. I bought tickets to Tomsk and flew away in the evening. I was only relieved on the plane. Why this city? I haven't been in it. It's small and young. It was warm outside, as if it wasn't autumn, even hot. For some reason, I took a warm jacket with me, and even a winter jacket. I dropped everything and went to the first hypermarket to lighten my clothes. Black knee socks. I thought they were cute. I haven't worn them for a long time. The skirt is just above the knees. It's strange that I bought it at all. The colors looked like leopard spots. Top with a light black blouse with an open back. So it was possible to take a walk. It was not hot and comfortable. On the way, I saw an entertainment center, 5 floors or more, a whole mini-city. The first floors are a shopping center, then restaurants and cafes, a cinema, and more shops. And then there are offices and apartments at the very top. I wonder who lives here, in such a noise. Slowly, she began to walk around floor by floor. According to her professional habit, she was drawn to the cosmetic departments, looked for comparisons, and then gave up this occupation. In any city, Everything is the same, not much different. And if you do not go outside, analyze only shopping malls, then it is difficult to understand which city you are in. Everything has become faceless, standard, disposable. I tried the coffee. The sour taste was immediately ingrained in the tongue. Grimacing and leaving the cup on the table, she hurried out of this place. After walking only a few meters, I bumped into a huge palm tree on which hung a sign, bar. Well, I thought, maybe this one is better. I walked through the open door. The bar is like a bar, in English style. The lights are dimmed. There are few visitors. We can say that there is not. Is it always so quiet here? I'm listening to you, the young man asked politely. He's probably 35 years old or even older. It's strange, students usually work as bartenders, but this one is either a professional in his field or just loves his job. I really didn't know what I wanted. What do you recommend? I recommend Bright Harp. He smiled, and the smile was pleasant, sincere. I tried to behave with restraint. I didn't want to give a reason. If you like it, he added, holding out a pot-bellied glass, the second one is free. Thanks, I replied, and was about to sit down at the bar, but he stopped me. I recommend going over there. He took my heavy glass and moved it to the far end of the counter. The counter was C-shaped, as if curving into the hall. The place where he put the glass was at the very end. The movie is about to end. He looked at the clock hanging by the entrance. People will fall down, it's quieter here. And already walking away, he added. Have a nice evening. If anything, let me know. I liked his manners, even amused him. I think I smiled back at him. After a few minutes, the visitors really came, mostly students and all the guys. What kind of movie did they watch? An action movie or a fantasy? Probably. I didn't notice how I drank a glass of beer. The taste was pleasant, but I didn't taste it. I read the name on the bartender's badge, Sergey. He put down a new glass and asked, "How do you like it?" "Great," I replied. I tried to remember the taste or aroma, but, being carried away by looking at the audience, I did not feel the beer at all. "I told you, you'll be satisfied," he squinted at the noisy crowd. "They will leave now. They won't stay long." "Why?" "There's a movie marathon today," he squinted. 3 films at the same price. "Wow," I said. This used to happen when marathons were announced for night sessions to attract viewers. But that's news to me now. "Is Lyosha here?" A man suddenly appeared and asked the bartender. "He has a shift tomorrow. Is there something to convey?" Sergey replied politely. "No, I'll come by myself tomorrow," the man replied. "Pour me a glass, please." Sergey quickly poured a drink and put it in front of him. The man glanced at me briefly, nodded, then looked at his watch. He sat down at the bar stool, breathing heavily, and took a long sip of beer. I couldn't help thinking that I would also like to try to drink as quickly. It must have its charm, I thought, sipping my glass. At first, his presence annoyed me a little. It was so cozy and peaceful here, and then suddenly someone was nearby. I'm already used to the silence and solitude. But gradually it became calmer. I felt a slight relaxing effect from the drink, as if I had just woken up, and my muscles relaxed in a pleasant way. I took another sip and felt the aroma of the drink spreading through my veins. She closed her eyes with pleasure. Sergey was talking about something all the time. Sometimes with me, then with a man. Sometimes he rolled back to serve a drink to other visitors. He was friendly and attentive, and it created a pleasant atmosphere. I continued to enjoy the evening and the sense of calm that prevailed here. For a while, Sergey did not pay attention to us. He went into the hall and began to clean up the garbage from the tables. I was sitting at the bar, relaxed and enjoying the atmosphere. She took a few more sips, continuing to observe what was happening in the hall, and did not pay much attention to the man sitting next to her. The atmosphere in the hall was calm. No one bothered, and I enjoyed the moment. Sergey returned to the bar and asked, "Do you smoke?" "Yes, but rarely," I replied. "I'll get it for you," he said, and came up to me with a thin pack of cigarettes. I took one and brought it to my lips. He quickly lit a lighter, and the tip of the cigarette lit up. She sucked in smoke. It filled my lungs, but it was strong, and I almost coughed. Taking a deep breath and exhaling slowly, I felt the smoke disappear under the ceiling. Continuing to enjoy the moment, I thought about how nice it was just to be here, without unnecessary thoughts and worries. I got distracted from everything around me and immersed myself in my thoughts. The room gradually became quieter, the working day was coming to an end, and Sergey, the bartender, began to put things in order, checking if anyone had left anything. I was sitting quietly, enjoying the drink and the atmosphere, when Sergey returned with a new portion of beer and put a glass in front of me with a smile. "Thank you." I thanked him. He walked around the room once more, straightening chairs and removing the last remnants of garbage. I finished my glass, feeling that the evening was coming to an end, and enjoyed the peace and quiet that prevailed in the bar. He did not respond to my words, and it seemed that he did not even hear me. I felt that something was happening, but I didn't pay attention to it. I relaxed, leaning against the bar, and allowed myself to forget for a moment. A wave of feelings rolled over me and went away, but I did not experience the intense satisfaction I had hoped for. It felt good, but something was missing. Looking up, I saw that the bartender Sergey calmly continued his work, clearing the tables, not paying attention to us. The man next to him quietly packed up and left, leaving the money on the bar. A woman entered the hall, addressing him in a loud voice. "I lost you. I could have called." The man didn't say anything, just walked out with her. The feeling of anxiety gradually left me, and I felt calm again. The bar began to empty, and Sergey locked the door, preparing to end the day. "Should I go?" I asked, looking at Sergey. "No," he replied, turning off the lights in the hall. The working day was ending, and the cook had already left. Only we were left in the hall. I continued to sit at the bar, feeling that my head remained clear despite the beer I had drunk. Sergey returned to the bar and quietly watched me. I took another sip of beer and slowly put the glass down on the table. I heard footsteps behind me, and I felt that the moment was coming when the evening was coming to an end. There was silence in the hall, and I allowed myself to relax, quietly enjoying the rest of the time. "Thank you," I told him again. A minute later, standing at the bar and finishing my beer, I felt the drink refreshing and filling me with calmness. I was completely relaxed and satisfied. We crossed paths with this man for a minute, and we'll never see each other again. Such meetings happen every day. Some of them pass unnoticed, while others can change our lives, lift us to the top of our dreams. My body finally calmed down, and I was smiling, enjoying everything that had happened. After leaving the bar, I went outside, where it was already dark. Sergey stayed inside, and I felt my appetite grow. I flew home this morning. Now there was a period in my life when I combined two sides of myself. At home, I was a businesswoman, a caring mother and wife. I started organizing family evenings for mom and kids. We went hiking together, read books until late at night. I enjoyed spending time with my family, lying on the bed, stroking my son's head and admiring the newly painted pink ceiling. However, I knew that from time to time another side awakens in me, the desire for freedom and new emotions. I accepted it as part of my personality, as an internal source of energy that gave me strength and fresh sensations. Sometimes it seemed to me that this was a special energy that helped me recharge, renew, and after that I felt like I could soar with my wings spread. This feeling of freedom was incredible. Yes, there are different aspects of life, and everyone is looking for their own way to balance and inner peace.